Body gal, I see no hold it down, she rock that body gal. She mash it up, but she rock that body gal. Gimme, the melody, toki, baby. Ting gal, she working with the body,
You're watching Tools for Talent on TFT TV. I'm your host, Cheryl Martinez, and today my featured guest is Robert Taylor Jr. He is a Broadway breakout star and worldwide performer, guys. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you for being here. The pleasure is mine.
Trust me, the pleasure's mine.
Oh, my sweetheart. I haven't seen you since that last show that I went to.
Yeah, how long ago was that? It was 2015.
Yeah, and you killed it. You rocked the stage, guys. You are an amazing live performer.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And I think it's because you've had so much experience, like performing. I think because you work with so many other artists, performing and working with them, it's kind of helped tailor your own shows because you've learned so much, right?
It has. It's just being around different types of artists and being around the atmosphere of what they do and how they do it, and just researching them and studying them and understanding their work ethic and how they go about with what they do. So it's helped me to try to, take a little piece of the pie from that person and maybe get a little note here and there. And
who are some of the top performers you worked with?
Let's see, I've worked with Rihanna.
Yes.
With the Budweiser commercial.
Oh, how fun!
Yeah, that was a good time. And I was in the same show as her for the Peace and Love Festival in Sweden.
Ooh,
and I was
all the way in Sweden. Wow.
All the way in Sweden.
That's a huge festival there, right?
It was awesome. It was one of the best times I've ever had. And it was they had my name on their flyer.
Really?
Rihanna was like the headliner, and then like under it, they had my name under there.
Oh my God, that's incredible! So Congratulations!
Really, thank you very, very much. That was totally a blessing. And
one of your biggest moments was that, then, for sure.
Yeah, that was definitely one of them. Yeah.
Okay, what else?
Let's see, performing for Michael Jackson. That was.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I
an
can't.
Honor, huh?
Oh, I cried when he walked into the room. That's
really.
Yeah.
His presence.
Just his presence. I was completely starstruck.
Wow.
And say I was singing.
Did he see you cry?
He did. Yes, he did. He was giving a thumb because he was this was at Webster Hall, and he was sitting on the balcony, and then mind you that he walks in on our performance. You know what I mean? Because he was late, but as soon as we started singing and dancing, it was a singing group I was with called Unity, and it was put together by a man named Andreas Sahar. And we're performing, we're doing our thing, and then Michael walks in, and everybody's starts screaming, yeah. And then Michael just sits down and starts watching us.
Wow.
And then we're still going, and our minds were like, oh my God, what's going on?
How'd you stay focused in the choreography and the singing and the performing while Michael's just sitting there staring at you?
It was hard. It was hard to do that because I just had so much adrenaline. I was just so excited. I don't even know what I did right or wrong, or if I did anything right at all.
Right? You probably can't even remember that moment.
Yeah. The only thing I can clearly remember is finishing the performance. We're holding, and Michael's he's like, just like this, and then I was just like, whoop.
Oh,
start crying. Yeah.
Gosh, you'll remember that for the rest of your life.
I'll remember that forever. It's still very vivid in my head.
Wow. That's so cool, Robert.
Thank you.
So tell me some of the other major artists.
Let's see. I got to dance for Cat DeLuna.
Oh. Yeah, was it the wind-up song?
It was the wind-up song.
Oh my God.
And that was my very first music video that I ever did. And Danielle Polanco, who's she's notable in so many music videos. She's in Omarion's Touch video, and she's just it's a lot on the resume to say.
Yeah.
But also a woman named Tanisha Scott. She also choreographed it. So being hired by those two juggernaut women.
Yeah.
I was just very, very, very honored.
Of course.
Have that.
Yeah, you've come so far. Now you're on Broadway, big shot, huh? Clean it up in New York.
Oh, that's another that's another thing. I'm like, wow, I still can't believe I'm doing it, and then I'm on it because I
Is
remember.
this your first Broadway show?
It's my first Broadway show.
Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
huge.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
huge. Because that's like the crossover, right? Like
Yeah.
you've crossed over to both sides now. Like
Yeah.
usually artists are just make it to one side or the other. To say that you've been accomplished in both, you know, like this is an off-ride. We're talking about Broadway, SpongeBob SquarePants. Right now, go see him. And what's your role in it?
I play Headphone Fish, aka a number of other roles in the show. I play a plankton henchfish, if you'll call it that, and then I play a sardine. And then I play a basic fish. Just
I want to hear one of your lines or see one of your moves. Can you show us something? One
of my lines. Let's see. What do I say? We see what you mean. And then there's one. Let's see. As a sardine, I go. If we close our eyes, maybe nothing will happen.
Oh, how cute! You're so adorable, Robert. That's really adorable. And you just gave us all the whole passion behind it and everything right now.
I tried what I could.
So how long is it like in production right now, or can you actually go see it?
Yeah, you can see it.
And how long is it going to be out for?
We don't know yet.
Ooh.
We don't know yet.
So it really all depends on, you know,
it depends.
How long the audience keeps it out for.
Yeah, so we hope that everybody keeps coming.
Yes, go see him. Go see him. So are you like every night? How often?
Well, we do 8 shows a week.
8 shows a week? Wow, that's a lot.
We have a dark day, which is the off day in the musical theater world.
Monday.
In the Broadway world. Yeah, our dark day is on a Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and then the other days we're going, as of right now, we're going Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday are the 2 show days.
Wow. Oh my God, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for taking the time to be here.
No, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So honored because I'm sure you have rehearsals like up the gazoo right now.
We do. We had one yesterday because we're going to be performing with Yolanda Adams on next Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So why don't you talk us through, because there's a lot of aspiring artists watching this show, right? And they want to know, how did they get on Broadway, right? So how did you book a Broadway role? And what is that process like now behind the scenes? Like, what type of commitment do you need to have to be able to withstand all those rehearsals and really, you know, be able to handle it and actually turn that into a job that you can make a living off of?
Well, this is one of those things where you definitely have to stay in it, and whatever you do, don't get lost in the sauce.
Don't get lost in the sauce.
Don't get lost in the ragu and the prego, or the goya. What I mean by that is, like, there's going to be times where you're tired. There's going to be times where you're like, oh man, I don't know if I could do this anymore, or I don't feel like doing it, or you'll wake up one morning and your body's going to feel sore, or maybe your voice is going to feel sore, or maybe just your overall spirit. You're thinking you're putting in so much time and so much work, and then it's like, man, I don't know, you know. But on the flip side of things, I say just grab inspiration wherever you can. You know, I know there's like some nights or some days where my body is exhausted, my voice is exhausted, and then I'll turn on the TV and I'll watch a Netflix series, and you know, maybe someone like Regina King is just killing it, and I'm like, wow, I want to get where she is at. I want to do what she's doing, you know. Or you'll turn on your WWE Network channel, and it's like, man, John Cena's killing it. Oh wow, Dolph Ziggler's killing it.
And it reminds you why you're doing what you do.
Absolutely. It's like I see them doing it, and then it's like, man, I want to do this. And I think, man, I could do this too. You know what I mean? Or I see guys like, you know, the guys I've been in the room auditioning with, a guy named Ephraim Sykes. He's done so many Broadway shows, and you know, I see him, or a guy like D. Watts, or like a Jared Grimes, and I'm like, these guys are doing it. They're doing it. It's like, man, I want to do this too, you know. So I look at those inspirations, and it pumps me up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like an energy shot.
So tell us, how'd you get that job?
Well,
first you got to join the union.
Yeah, join the union, and with the union dues and all of that stuff.
I don't like those dues.
Yeah, those dues. Like,
but you get benefits.
Yes.
So finally, if entertainers looking to get health care, join the union if you want health care.
Yeah, well, as of today, I'm finally eligible for it.
Yay! I mean, that's huge.
Yeah,
for people who are entertainers, they get it. You know, health care. You know. Anyway, tell them I got a job.
Okay, well, pretty much, just auditioning as much as you possibly could. I've put in myself, for auditioning for every Broadway show I could possibly audition for. I didn't care what it was. And I was at one point I was even thinking about kinky boots. I'm like,
Wow.
can I throw on a pair of heels? And then there was also times I was contemplating I should jump in Charlene's class. You know what I mean? She was just here. How about that? I was like, I'll throw on a pair of heels real quick.
Let's go take our class together.
Come on now, come on. Come on.
No, I need to go take your class. He's got his own class at Broadway Dance Center too.
Oh my God, you're always welcome. You're always welcome.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, amazing. But your style though is might be like I dance very sexy. I'll admit it. Your
Okay.
style is very like funky, hardcore. I feel like I need to walk into your class with a hoodie and like a fitted and like sometimes and I need to put myself in a completely different mindset of like who I'm not, and then I can go take your class.
I hear you. I hear you.
Funk, I love your flavor and your style. Though. It's amazing. Like I could watch your class videos all day, every day on the ground.
Thank you.
But me in there, I just might look funny because I'll add some sexy flair to it.
You know what? It's funny how you say that because there's once in a while I'll throw a little sexy routine up in there. Like I did a routine buttons, Pussycat Dolls, and there was a little sex appeal up in there. So I threw a little something in there.
Well, let me know when you do one of those songs.
I gotcha.
But just to finish what we were saying before, though, so basically you were treating auditions like that was your full-time job.
Pretty much.
You would go to auditions, any audition you could get, anytime you get them all in, because the more auditions you go to, the more opportunities you're going to have, obviously, right?
Absolutely.
And you learn something from every audition you go to as well. And I always think that's a really good, important, tools, tips, advice, tools for talent, right?
That's right.
So, all right, so you're hustling at the auditions, and now you're at the SpongeBob audition. What happens?
Okay, so I go in there, and then they ask me to read some of the lines. So I was reading some Apache the Pirates lines, and then I was reading.
Did you get them in advance to prepare the lines, or you just got them right then?
Got them in advance.
Okay, great. Even better.
Yeah, so I had time to prepare, and then they had.
How well prepared were you?
There was some lines that, well, actually, most of the lines I remember. There was a couple that I flopped on,
But you did practice.
I did.
Practice is key. If you get the lines ahead of time, by all means, use that to your advantage.
Study them as soon as you get them, and whenever you can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even when you're cooking, and I'm always cooking.
Aww, look at you, ladies.
Oh, I do love to cook. I really, really do. It's one of my favorite things. It's my sanity. You know what I mean? And besides the fact I like having people over, make them feel good.
Oh, nice.
You know what I mean? It's like a Southern type of thing.
All right, but now, so you're at the audition, you're reading your lines, and what, you just killed it?
Read the lines, and then I felt that they're okay. And then they say thank you for coming in. And then contemplating, wondering how I did. I'm like, did I do this? Did I kill it? Or was I loud enough? Or was I making good eye contact? Was my tone correct for that role?
Because we all self-critique, and we over self-critique as artists. We can't help it, right? But hey, that's how we get better at the same time. So
absolutely.
It's okay, but just be nice to yourself.
Yeah. You gotta be nice to yourself sometimes.
And then what happens?
I get a call.
You got the call!
Get the call back, and they're asking if I can come in for a dance call.
Wow.
For tap dancing.
Because first was the lines, and now it's the dance. And you do both, right?
Yeah. So I had to come for the
triple
tap
threat
dancing.
For these things.
Yeah, you got to get in there. And mind you, that time I was taking Ray Hessling's classes, and then I jumped in April Cook's class, and I took Captain Ponza. And then, a couple weeks, passed by, and I didn't take classes. And then they asked me to do this tap number, so I was like, oh, shoot, okay, let me look in and see what's going on. So I jumped back into their classes, and then...
Oh, look at you. So you prepped yourself for the dance audition by taking a class prior to that.
Absolutely.
Wow, very smart. Another good tip.
Yeah, and it also helps to study it, just in general. I was studying tap when I was in college. I went to Marymount, you know what I mean? And my first tap class was in 2001.
It's just a shame, tap is the only style of dance that I can never get into. I've done hip hop, ballet, modern, jazz, salsa, bachata, you name it, but tap, it never spoke to me.
I hear you. And it was one of those things that I neglected for a while too. But once I
got
onto it,
it's like a prerequisite.
It's like one of those things you have to learn. You know what I mean? So. I go in for the tap audition, and then next thing you know, I get a call back the next day, and they're asking me to do like this sort of workshop, and it was a workshop of running in slow motion and making the funniest faces you can make.
Wow.
Or, you know, being attacked in slow motion.
Wow.
Or falling in slow motion.
Interesting.
And that was one of the funnest auditions I've ever done.
Oh, how
Honestly.
nice.
'Cause
And
I
that's
got to
probably
be
why
a
you
fool.
killed it, because you were enjoying the moment.
It was so much fun. And SpongeBob SquarePants, I mean, in general, Tina Landau, she's our director of the show.
Yeah.
And her take on the whole thing was to have a sense of realism. And she wanted to touch on a few different subjects. You know, with politics, and then there's racism, and then there's the whole friendship thing going on, and then there's, you know, world chaos and mass destruction, and there's so much more into it that she wanted to give each character a sense of, you know, hitting those topics. You know, so she I think she did a wonderful job of bringing that to the audience, and, you know, also finding the joy
Okay.
and how to tackle all those issues.
Cool.
You
Very
know,
cool.
because SpongeBob is a very happy
Yeah.
character.
All right. So now you're at the 3-step process of the audition, right? This is the 3rd day. Now you're
Third day.
auditioning for them,
Third
not
day.
including all the practice and prep you've done.
That's
All right.
right.
And this is and this is all for free with no guarantee of any money.
No
You know, that's
guarantee.
another thing you guys have to realize. But you're treating it like a job. You treat all the moment like you're making $1 million at every one, because that's the attitude and the mindset you need to have in order to get it, right? If you go in there mad that, like, oh, now I'm doing another audition for the same thing and I still don't know if they're gonna pick me.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough. It's tough because you could go through all that and still get rejected. You
Absolutely.
know? And you need to be prepared for that and able to handle that and not let that knock you down. Otherwise, you're not going to go and do it all again for the next audition. You know?
Absolutely right.
So I want to know your exact moment now when you got the call and say, because that was the end of the audition, right? That was the last process. All right, thank goodness. All right, so what happened?
Well, I thought that was the last process, but there's more.
What?
Yeah.
Oh God! Oh
That's
God!
what I said.
Oh my God! Oh, God.
That's what I said. I was like, oh, okay. So I'll get the call back, and then they asked me to come in and you know, do some hip hop stuff.
Oh.
You know, so I
And you're like, well, this I got. I teach this.
I was like, oh yeah. I was like, all right, so I'm feeling good. You know, doing that. So I'm, you know, trying to do some. Just freestyling and beatboxing.
And beatboxing?
I had to beatbox while freestyling, because somebody asked, because they saw it on my resume. Somebody said,
"Oh, they saw your resume." All right, that's a good tip. Don't lie on your resume.
Don't lie on your resume, because chances are
they called you out on it.
They called me out on it. They sure did, and that rarely happens.
And you didn't practice that, I guess.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared to do it, but it's something that I do. You know what I mean? So I pulled it out, and I was beatboxing while dancing. Yeah.
Impressive.
So I got that, and I was like, okay. And they were like, oh, thank you very much. Thank you. So I'm like, okay.
But they still don't tell you whether or not they don't tell you.
They don't tell you yet. So the next callback, which was the 5th one.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Robert, you're killing me.
Oh man, yeah. That the 5th callback, they asked me to come in and sing. So that was the last one.
Okay.
I was like, okay. I said, I kind of feel at home.
And now you show them I have it all. Oh, you want me to sing too? Sure, I sing. What time's to walk my shoes?
So yeah, I was feeling like, okay, let's do this thing and see what happens, and singing, and then after that,
was it still okay? Thank you so much.
It was still that. So it was no guarantee that I got it. You know what I mean? So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I think I did well, but you know, I'm at the point where I was thinking,
by the 5th callback, you gotta feel good at that point, right?
Yeah, I was feeling good. At the same time, I was trying not to jinx myself, saying I got
get too excited,
and I'm gonna get this job.
Yeah,
so
you know, excited, then it's a bigger letdown.
Yeah.
Okay.
As time has passed over the years, I have learned to just taking things with a grain of salt and a grain of quinoa.
I love quinoa.
Yeah. Me too.
So cute.
Yeah. So it was one of those things where I was like, okay, let's just see what happens. And then 3 days later, I was like in the runnings. I was on hold as a swing. So I was like, ooh, I had the jitters, and I was like, ooh.
What do you mean on hold as a swing?
Well, a swing is a person who covers various roles.
Oh, okay.
So
it's a Broadway term?
Yes, it's a Broadway term. So if one person, aka understudy.
I was just gonna say understudy.
Yeah. So one person gets sick, another person you can go on as the understudy.
So were you booked as an understudy?
I was booked as an understudy.
Okay.
But a week later, I was asked to be a part of the full ensemble.
So wait, so what was that phone call when you got the understudy booking like?
Was
it an email or what was it?
It was a phone call. It was a phone call.
What was that like?
I cried. I cried. Yeah, because
while they were still talking to you, or
while
after?
they were still talking.
Really? Oh.
And it was one of those moments because I remember when I was 7 years old. You know, it was 30 years ago.
Yeah,
we
watched that show.
Yeah. 30 years ago, and I was saying to my mom, we were walking down Times Square, and I asked her, "What are all these lights, Mom? This is cool." And she was like, "Well, this is Broadway, son. This is where a lot of performing artists they display their talent and they showcase to like lots of people around the world." And then I said this cliche, just so cliche. I was like, "Mommy, I want to be on Broadway," you know. And it was like that time.
So cute.
And 30 years later, I was just thinking about everything I've been through and everything that's happened, and you know the.
Was your mom at opening night?
She came to a preview.
Oh, even better.
She came to the
there
preview,
before
and she
opening
was on
night.
opening. Both my parents were there on opening night, so that was really,
What
really
an amazing
special.
moment that must have been for them.
It was very, very special, you know, because we had our ups and downs, and you know, there were times where they were unsure, you know, what I was gonna do, what was gonna happen, and you know, there was a period of time where they didn't understand why I was staying out so late, going to freestyle sessions or, you know, taking dance classes until 10:30 at the BDC that was on 57th Street. Then I would get home at like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then wake up at 7 a.m. to do it all
again.
You know what I mean? So
unless you're in the industry, it's hard to really understand it. You know? So we can't even be mad at our parents for not totally getting it.
Yeah, and I'm not mad at them. Like I have forgiven them for everything. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm even closer with them now than I have ever been. You know what I mean? And they understand.
Because now I bet it makes more sense to them seeing, you know, what you got from all of this.
It makes a lot of sense with that, and then just developing an overall relationship with them. It's actually brought us closer. So
now tell us a little bit of what goes on behind the scenes, like with your cast, you know, like doing rehearsing over and over and over again, like because we want to know the good and the bad, obviously, because if people are looking to pursue this as a career, they want to know the truth, and that's the whole point of the show is to finally provide a platform like that where we can share with them the tips they need to succeed and also what they need to be aware of so they can make sure they're making the right decision.
Absolutely. Well, you have to during our rehearsals, you know, we try our best to preserve and to reserve ourselves. You know, we have to make sure we're eating the right foods and, you know, drinking the right fluids and
getting enough sleep.
Yes, very important right there. And just being mindful and aware of what we can do outside of our rehearsals or what we're able to do or what are our abilities as far as our stamina. You know what I mean? So the tech rehearsals were probably the toughest because you know we had our 10 out of 12s. You know, sometimes we would do like a 10 a.m.
12 hours, you said? Oh my god, just rehearsing?
Just rehearsing. Yeah, teching the whole thing. And then sometimes getting out at midnight.
And then doing it all again.
And then doing it again the next day.
Yeah, see, at least with music videos, it's going to be 12, 15 hours long, but then it's over.
Yeah, it's done. Over and done.
Broadway,
we were doing it for like
you're
2.5 weeks.
Dogs for the entire production.
It was insane. You know what I mean? But we, as a cast, we took care of each other. You know, we were there for each other. And, you know, they're a lovely bunch of people. I love them all.
That's important. I mean?
I'm happy when I'm around them.
Great.
You know, I love spending time with them. I love joking around with them, playing with them.
Because you become each other's family during that time. Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, so it's a second family that I'm going to almost every day.
Yeah,
you know, and even during the show,
you have rehearsal today, right?
I had one yesterday.
Oh.
I had one rehearsal yesterday, and I have a show tonight.
Oh, a show tonight!
We got a show tonight.
Oh my gosh, you have a show tonight!
Yeah, we sure do. Yep.
Look at you. What time do you have to be there?
7:30.
Okay, all right.
So yeah,
we gotta wrap this up.
We're good. I think we're good.
Make sure you guys all go watch SpongeBob SquarePants and scream and give a standing ovation for this guy right here.
Come on.
All right, but we're running out of time though, and you have so many other huge accomplishments. We got to get to a couple other things.
Yeah,
all right.
Sure.
So you think you can dance? You've been on the show twice, guys. Season 2 and season 8. This guy rocked out on So You Think You Can Dance.
Yeah. So and I made the top 16 in the show.
Wow, top 16! Congratulations!
Thank you very, very much.
That's so cool.
And I was even surprised myself to be there because every season they have raised the bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And every time I would get through, I ask myself, oh gosh, how did I do this? How did I get through? And I'm looking at the other dancers, I'm like, jeez, they're incredible. But when you're having cameras like just rolling around you, the revolving camera rotating, and then camera below here, then a camera's up there, then there's
shooting
cameras
live
off
is
stage.
no joke.
No joke. Talk about nerves, man.
Yeah.
Woo, it's like you're dancing in front of
You
millions
can't
of
trip
viewers.
and fall.
Yeah, and if you trip and fall, then do what you can to
Make it
fix
look good.
Make it look good. Yeah. So, thankfully I didn't have any major mistakes and anything of that nature. So I just pretty much enjoyed everything I did. Going live, and it was like, wow, we're live.
Gosh, I can't
The
imagine how
adrenaline
fast your heart must be beating before you run on that stage and while you're on that stage.
Oh, the adrenaline that goes through you is insane, because you're thinking, no, the world is watching you, So it's like,
would you say it was more like happy adrenaline or like stress adrenaline, or like how did you really feel in those moments? Were you scared? Were you were you overwhelmed with the joy that it took away the scaredness, or like?
It was a mix of everything you just said.
Yeah.
Because I was scared because I knew I was like, I'm on deck. I'm next. And then I was just happy to be on stage, and then overjoyed and overwhelmed with all the cameras and all the people watching you and thinking the whole world is watching you.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, and then that person's gonna vote for me. That person's gonna vote for me. So it's like one of those things where it's like it's a mix of everything. It's a giant.
How well do they prepare you, really learning the choreography for the partner one and then for the group one?
We have less than a week to learn everything.
Wow, because you guys look so polished all the time.
Yeah.
I was wondering if they say that, but maybe you really get more. What's really going on there?
Well, which pretty much some of us are just plowing through it. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it just feels so good to say, wow, I did that.
Yeah.
And
when you have the crowd screaming for you that, that's the moments
feeling.
that make it all worth it.
What a beautiful feeling when you're just being honored by the crowd and they're hyping you up and they're there to watch you. So you want to just give everything that you've taken in, give it to them, give it back to them for being there for you.
Absolutely. All right. So anything else? I know you've done so much. It's hard to
remember. That's why.
Well, and you got your own music going on too. Where can people find the music that you have coming out? Your album, your shows, all that.
Absolutely. You can go on Spotify and just type in Robert Taylor Jr. And next week I'll be dropping a dancehall single. This is my first dancehall single. It's called "Rock That Body Gal."
Oh, nice.
So a little Elephant Man / Vibes Cartel vibe thing going on in there.
Amazing. I can't wait to hear it.
Maybe
we'll put a little preview of the show, actually.
Maybe. A little something. A little something.
Great. Well, honey, thank you so much for being here and for sharing your story. Is there any lasting words of tips, advice, or inspiration you want to leave us with?
I will say 3 major words, and it's not just a catchphrase. Never give up. Never give up.
That's a big one. That's one of the main ones, right?
Yeah. Keep your eyes on the prize and just plow at it. You can do it. We all can.
You can do it. Robert Taylor Jr., everybody.
Thank you all. God bless you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And again, you guys are watching Tools for Talent on TFT TV. I'm your host, Cheryl Martinez.
Check it up, live it up. She dirty wine and she rock that body gal. She want the waist and she rock that body gal. She tweet and she rock that body gal. Gimme, the minute, took it, gal.